The judge who has to give the thumbs up or down to the Grand Rapids marijuana ordinance is showing his cards tonight. But for those of you waiting for an official ruling, you will have to wait a little longer. 24 News 8's Leon Hendricks is live in studio tonight with these new developments. Leon.
Marley, good evening. No official decision, but there is news. It's been a back and forth on the change to city charter that would make it a civil infraction to be caught with small amounts of marijuana. And it's putting the mayor and city attorneys against police and prosecutors in the courtroom. Today in court, the judge said he would make his decision official in the coming weeks, but his line of thinking seemed clear. Right now, state laws prohibit changes to city ordinance that conflict with state law when it comes to substance control. But the change voters approved was a change to the city charter, and that is not a violation of the law.
What it does, rather, it seems to me, is to suggest to the enforcement authorities in the city of Grand Rapids how they want the enforcement authorities in the city of Grand Rapids to process these types of cases.
Judge Paul Sullivan lifted an order to stop the change from going into place months ago that would make having a small amount of marijuana a civil infraction, more like a speeding ticket. But the city has withheld putting that change in place because of the ongoing legal dispute with the police and the prosecutor's office. Sullivan made clear that his position is to apply the law as it's written, not determine whether or not the change is right or wrong. At the end of the day, he acknowledged that either way, one thing would not change as a result of his decision.
I would caution anyone out there who thinks that this whole thing is legal now in Grand Rapids to be careful, because it isn't necessarily the case.
So there's a whole lot of legalese to this one. It's confusing even for us to sort through sometimes. But the bottom line is the question of who has the legal ability to make a change like this. And it sounds like, from the judge's standpoint, he's saying that the law is written, the way the law is written now, the voters have that power. And in this case, it sounds like they exercised it.
Right.
It still has to play out, but the city was considering making this change as early as next week. Right. You talked to the mayor tonight. What did he have to say?
That's right. He said the city commission will be talking about that at their next meeting. But they've been really trying to avoid this back and forth where we have the rule go into effect and then possibly have it changed.
Right.
And then, but it's kind of like, when do you put it into place? Because this whole thing is expected, very much expected to go through the appeals process too. So
a lot more to look out for then.
Absolutely.
Big time.
Yeah.
Thank you, Leon.